Hi friends, my name is Al, our little star nerd. Welcome to today's video. Before we get into it, I want to thank my patrons. Your names are on screen. Thank you so much for your support. You're awesome. If you have yet to check out my Patreon, go check it out. There's fun goodies every single month, an exclusive video, podcast, sticker, postcard, all sorts of good stuff, so go check it out. I'm really excited about today's video because we're working with Fiverr. Obviously, I'm using Fiverr to find these artists. Fiverr is an amazing place to find all sorts of freelancers who can do like gigs for you, anywhere from, website design, logo design. I've used them before for things like a quick voiceover here and there, some video editing. They offer all sorts of services. It's really easy to find people. You can search for like whatever thing that you're looking for, whatever service you're looking for, and then you can find their profiles, which gives you examples of their work. You can see their reviews. You can see how their pricing breakdown. It's really, really easy to use. If you don't know, one of my weaknesses as an artist is originality and creativity. And I've been running into this roadblock a lot in a lot of different ways, but especially when it comes to character design, which is frustrating and a shame because character design is something that I want to be good at. It's something that I want to do. I would like to get better at it. And I've been working on that, namely through the Pinterest character design challenges that I do. I have you guys create a board of related pins, and then I have to create a character off of that. And that's been working great. And I really feel that that has leveled up my skill and my knowledge on that topic. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, I'm still relying on someone else putting in some sort of creative work for me to get that done. And I don't want to. I'm having so much fun. I'm not going to stop doing those challenges. They are literally so fun. I love them. But I would like to get to the point that I can design characters without other people helping. I would like to be able to come up with ideas on my own, like concepts, and then create them into people. I want to be able to do that. And I also want to find a different way to learn how to do that, because right now all I'm doing is those Pinterest board challenges, but that's repetitive, right? I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And so I'm learning how to do one specific thing rather than learning a bunch of different ways to do something that will hopefully accumulate to me having a good knowledge base. Does that make sense? So we're taking advantage of this opportunity, and we're going to do some research about character design. We're going to learn directly from other artists. We're going to see what other people do. I'm so nervous to directly compare my work to other professional artists, especially because this is something that I'm not confident about, but we'll see. We'll see. So I had this idea of coming up with one prompt and giving it to a couple of different artists, and then we all draw from the same prompt. And then I look at what everyone did afterwards and see what I can learn, see what's different, see what they did, see what their thought process is like. Obviously, I can't see the whole thought process. I'm just going to see the final results, but I still think that will be really, really interesting to compare. I just want to see what I can learn, and maybe it won't be that much. Maybe I won't learn anything, but I think it's going to be really, really cool to see what other artists can do with the same prompt, and maybe it'll make me think about what I did differently, because I'm going to draw from the same prompt without seeing their work, gonna do it by myself, and then see how it holds up, see what's different. I'm nervous, I'm excited, it's gonna be so freaking cool. I have to come up with a prompt, I have to find some artists, I have to figure all of this out, but I think it's gonna be really, really fun. I'm really excited. Let's go. So I did some digging, I looked around, and I picked a handful of artists. I think I have 8 here to choose from. And depending on what they deliver or what it seems like they do regularly, so we narrowed it down to 3, and I think they're a great array of options. I'm definitely, because of the nature of this, right, looking at how different artists approach character design from the same prompt, I was definitely looking for some amount of diversity. This is a horrible angle. Okay, less negative space. Some amount of diversity amongst art styles, and I wanted to get something different from each artist, not just the same thing every time. Hopefully they would have different ideas, different ways of approaching things, and so I think we've got that. First, we've got Red Roca, who has a 5-star rating, promising. And what really interested me is the painterly style that they have. Obviously, they do people, which is great. Like this right here, their cover image is honestly what sold me. It's so interesting. I love the colors. It feels like a character, and that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to create a character. I think this will be great. I think it'll be a different approach. Not necessarily realism, but more maybe detail. Like I said, the painterly, I think it'll be different. I think it'll be great, so. Next up, we have Lucas Olive Art. This is a classic, one of my classic favorite sort of styles. It reminds me a lot of some of my favorite artists, so I'm thrilled to be working with them. This, again, they do people, they do characters. I like the kind of action shots that they've got going on, which is definitely gonna be something that I will be looking for. I love the faces, and I think they seem very creative. This seems like I will get a an interesting, again, like unique response from them. So I'm excited to see what they do with the prompt. And then the last choice is Rate Studio, again, 5-star rating. This one, they look like they do like manga, which is great. Again, I'm looking for diversity in art styles and approaches. They seem to do like intense character sheets, again, what I'm looking for. So that's great. Very interesting. They do expressions. So I think this will, again, be great. I think it's gonna be great. I'm very pleased with the 3 choices that I've made. I've already talked to all of them and I'm confident that they will be the ones that I go with, that they're available for it. It's just a matter of placing the orders and giving them the prompt, which I am anxious to give them the prompt because I know for me personally, when like people wanna commission me and they're like, oh, just like whatever. I'm like, no. You have to tell me what to draw. So I am nervous to give them the super vague prompt and have them like not, they're gonna be like, no, that's like not enough. But we'll see. Like I said, now it's just a matter of ordering from them. So obviously the point of this is to give everyone, including me, the same description and then see how everyone interprets that differently. You know, depending on their style and their process, seeing how the same kind of bare bones idea of a character turns into a real life creation and all the different iterations that can take. The design, the character description has to be something that I want to do, but also has to be something that other people would want to do. So let's see. Let's see. I do love post-apocalyptic characters, magic, fairy. It needs to have some sort of element to it that allows it to be more, like what I struggle with is making a character that's more than just one person. Like just a regular person, just like a person in jeans and a t-shirt. So having some sort of fantastical sci-fi, some sort of element, some sort of fictional element really helps give it substance. Even just this part is hard for me. Let's do retrofuturism. Is that boring? A retrofuturism apocalypse. A retrofuturism dystopian, a time traveling character with influences of, time travel. I want to go time travel. Time traveler who spends most of their time in maybe Midwest in the 50s, these are all different time or places that they spend time in. The Midwest, the 50s, maybe like Victorian era. No, is that too much? And it also offers up steampunk, I want some of that. I want possible cowboy, possible housewife, possible like 50s outfit. I want those sort of influences, but I also want tech. I want them to be high tech and I want them to be, I want interesting elements. Time traveler from the future who is unraveling a time anomaly mystery in the 1950s American West. They are equipped with a futuristic gun disguised for the time period. We're gonna go with that, and I'm gonna hope that that is enough for the artist to go off of. I think it's a little demanding of me, but I'm gonna pitch it to them. Let's see how it goes. So I have officially started all of the orders on Fiverr. I am so excited. I need to start my own art because I know some of them are gonna give me progress photos, which I don't need, obviously, but I didn't want to be more difficult than I already am by giving them absolutely nothing to work off of. So I didn't want to say anything. But before they send me any of their stuff, I want to at least have my idea solidly down so that way I'm not being influenced by them when I do my character. But I also don't want to leave them waiting for me to approve their work. So I've got to get going on that. So I sent them all anxious time traveler from the future who is unraveling a time anomaly mystery in the 1950s American West. They are equipped with a futuristic gun disguised for the time period. That's all the information that everyone got. Oh my God, somebody already sent me the sketch. Rate Studio already sent me the sketch. Okay, that was so fast. Oh, I have 2 sketches. This is so stressful. Fred Roca and Rate Visual Works have already sent me their sketch. Lucas Olive Art also was like, hey, do you have any other information you want to give me? The more the better. And I was like, no, I actually don't. I don't have anything else to give you. Okay, so they said, that's okay. I will create something based on what you sent me. Can you describe the universe the character lives in? How is the future he comes from in terms of aesthetic? Something cyberpunk, steampunk, normal, just what realistic our world would be, etc. Okay, so they're looking for what time period did they come from? Let's go the classic Meet the Robinsons future. Meet the Robinsons, is that what I'm thinking of? I don't actually know that movie. Okay, Meet the Robinsons. And then what's that one show about the people from space? Jetsons. The future they come from is very typically futuristic. Think Meet the Robinsons or the Jetsons, because that is kind of what I was picturing. So that's fine. Oh, Meet the Jetsons or Astro Boy. Very shiny and sleek and techy. Okay. I think that works. That's not giving too much direction. It's what I was already thinking of. I know I just said I don't want to look at their stuff before I design my character, and I don't, but I also said I don't want to leave them waiting. So two of them have made sketches for me. I'm gonna have to approve them. I'm gonna try not to look at it too closely, because I know no matter what I'm approving it, I'm not gonna give them any feedback. Here's a sketch I got. In my idea, he would mostly be disguised, but he would have a clock on his belt and the gun would be shining, indicating that he's a time traveler. Let me know your thoughts and if you would like me to correct anything. Oh, it's so good already. It's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm not looking at it too closely though. It looks great. I have no thoughts or feedback. Boom, approved. I already have let it fall out of my mind. I don't remember anything else. Now let's see this one. Here's a sketch for the project. What do you think? I'm not gonna look too closely. Okay, amazing. I don't want to look anymore. It looks great. I have no feedback. Okay. There's a fire under my butt. I've got to create my character. They're also working really fast. Like, I think everyone that I hired had projects already in the works. So the fact that I got 2 sketches already, I'm really shocked and really excited. I love seeing artists do art. Oh my God, so cool. Okay, I am going to start brainstorming for my character. And I think hopefully the next thing that you see will be the art process, my art process. Let's go. Okay, so the other day I sat down and just did some doodling, just mapping out the ideas. I did do some thinking over the prompt and had a vague idea of what I wanted. I knew right off the bat I would be doing a feminine character. I really wanted to lean into the like classic 50s silhouette that I love so much, with the kind of tighter waist, bigger skirt. It was not as hard as I thought it would be for me to come up with something. So I knew that I wanted to do vitiligo. I just thought that would be like an interesting thing to add to make a character kind of stand out, like a main character, you know what I mean? So it added some interest, added also just like more going on in her face, so it wasn't just like a person. And then the outfit, I looked up some just like regular like vintage women and had some ideas for typical outfits, but I was trying to do something that was borderline costumey, something that would feel slightly wrong, and I think I came up with some really, really fun stuff. So I, did the map out of the character, and then I did a little sketch of her here, and I ended up liking the sketch so much that ended up being what the final piece was. It's her kind of hunched over on the phone talking to people from the future. And so that's what I drew, and I love it so much. And I'm so, so pleased with it. So she's got her little device attached to like this wall telephone that's allowing her to talk to the future. She's got her little futuristic gun that kind of looks like an Old West gun, but obviously is a little bit off. She has her earpiece in. She has this giant stiff like silver hoop skirt type of thing. Not hoop skirt, but like, big 50s skirt. And it's like this reflective silver, so it's like obviously wrong. She's got like the fringe arm cuffs, that it's very costumey, very like in the future, someone watching an Old West movie, what would they think would like be, what would their best approximation be? She's got a little bit of 50s hair. I love the way her face turned out. I was just kind of trying to cover up a lot of mistakes, and it ended up coming out really, really well. I love her boots. I just think it all, I was thinking maybe I should do a color comp because I don't know what to do. So I started with a really, really simple color palette and built up from there. It all just worked out so well, and I'm so, so pleased with my character. So just a quick reminder of the prompt: anxious time traveler from the future who is unraveling a time anomaly mystery in the 1950s American West. They are equipped with a futuristic gun disguised for the time period. And I think I delivered. I think her expression isn't quite delivering what it was supposed to, but that's okay. I still think, I know that she's anxious and I think it just, I'm really satisfied with it. I think the hardest part was the skirt. It's a little difficult to make it believable, and I was looking up references of like, what does a reflective silver skirt look like, and it was not nearly as contrasting as I was hoping. So it's not like the most believable, but that's okay. Okay, now that we have mine done, I can officially look at every other artist's piece. I have two like completed orders, and I have one that's technically still in progress, but I think they've sent me the final piece. It's just like hasn't been completed. So we're gonna look at it, and then if it turns out that there's gonna be more later, we'll look again. So this one is from Red Roca. Oh my god, this is stunning. The lighting, the gun with like the laser coming out, shut up. I love the hat. I love the cape with the fringe. This is so stunning. Like it being so painterly, the expression, the moodiness. Oh my god. It is so cute and so good. Wow. Ugh, I feel like I wasn't enthusiastic enough in like thanking them and being like, you did great. Cause like this is honestly exceeds expectations. Like this is amazing. Next up, we're gonna look at Lucas Olivart. Again, very excited, very excited. Okay. Okay. I'm like scared. Okay, it's amazing. It's so good. Oh my god, this is so interesting. Like this is so different from the other one. Oh my god, I love his face. I love his hair. I love the gun. I think this one is really interesting. It leans very futuristic, which I love that take. Like I can see a whole story around him for sure. Like this is a character. This is a character that it feels very alive. And I love that. I love the way the cape looks. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Genuinely, like, don't think I could be more pleased with all these artists. Like, I'm just so impressed. Okay, and then last, we're going to look at Rate Studio. Again, they haven't sent me like the complete order, but I'm pretty sure that this is what the final piece is going to be. So we're gonna look at it. Bro, this is so cool. I love the long hair. I love the hat. The gun is, oh my god. The holster, the belt, shut up. Oh, this is so cool. This is so, so cool. The tattoo, I think it's like, it looks like it's glowing, which I love that concept. Again, like this is a character. This feels so real. Like there's a story here that is so cool. Again, I couldn't be more pleased. I just can't, like, I don't even have words to say how excited I am and how impressed I am with these artists. Let's talk about, let's compare. So obviously I know what my thought process was. I know what I put into this. I know like the specific details that I put in. I'm definitely happy with it. I think she feels like a real character. I think there's enough here that I'm happy with because I came up with the prompt and that's really hard for me. I am pleased with her as a character. Like I don't think that it could be stronger. It could always be stronger, but I don't think it's a weak character design. I don't think I'm lacking. I usually feel like I'm missing something or it's not designed enough or there's not enough elements to make it special. I feel like there's a story here, there's a character here, and good design elements. So I'm satisfied. Now we're going to look at the other designs and not just freak out and be happy about them, but pull out some things that like, what can we learn from them? What did they do? Kind of compare and contrast. One thing that is really interesting off the bat is that everyone went with a masculine looking character and I went feminine. That's fine. Just people have preferences. They're, go-to preferences. I didn't indicate any sort of gender or gender expression. People just made that up on their own. I think that comes down to what you find easier to do. So not much to say there. That's fine. They seem to go with like a lot of straight lines, which I think that's interesting for the future take, having it be sleek and linear, I think makes sense. One thing that I'm really liking about this is how simple it is because, and this is something that I've noticed about a lot of other artists as well. It being such a simple color palette makes it super cohesive, but it doesn't feel like limited. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how other people do this, where I'm looking at this and there's really only a few colors. There's this part right here that has like the lapel piece that has different colors on it, which is like a fun little pop, but otherwise it's super simple, but it doesn't feel like, oh, there's not enough color, there's not enough going on. Like one of the problems that I always come up with is I'll pick a small color palette and then I'll feel like there's too many elements. I can't color it all with only X amount of colors. I think silhouette is also really important here, especially with the cape that allows for really interesting silhouettes when, that's blowing in the wind. One thing that's interesting to me is that I'm not seeing a lot of utilitarian stuff. So that's when I'm coming up with characters, because I'm not good at it. The way that I have to think about it is through like, what does this person do on a day-to-day basis? What are they carrying with them? What are they doing? And how will that affect what they bring with them, what they wear? I don't really see that approach here. I see this as a very design-based approach, which is super interesting and not something that I can relate to. I think this is way more about the aesthetic and the vibes, which is so interesting that people are able to do that because I am not. Even with the aesthetic and the vibes, I still relied on looking at references and thinking about like, how do I show this element? How do I show this element? Now looking at Red Roca's, again, very painterly, less character sheet. So I think there will be a little bit less for me to look at in terms of like character design rather than character, if that makes sense. So I mentioned that the character has a weapon that is designed to look relevant to time, or disguised to look relevant to the time period. And I love that they just have an old gun, but they're showing that like a laser is coming out, which I think is so fun. Like imagine being in like a shoot off and you think it's a regular gun, but then like a laser beam comes out, but you're in the 1950s. Like that's so fun. Again, silhouette. I love the cape. The silhouette seems like the fringe also adds for like that movement. I love the stopwatch down here. Is that what it's called? The clock, the stopwatch type thing, for the time travel element. That is so fun and so cool. So I think that they kind of, based on my guess, I feel like they approached it similarly to me, of like checking off the boxes of filling the descriptors that I did give. So I think we might have approached this in a similar way. And then we have Rate Studio. I think this is such an interesting, they're all so different. It's so cool. Again, I feel like silhouette is big, which I know is a huge part of character design, but I don't know how to think about that. Like I see where like they've thought about that. I don't know how to think about that. I think like maybe accidentally she has a distinctive silhouette, but like I feel like that's a bit more stylized, cartoonish than I do, but I think it's still important and I don't know how to incorporate that. But I see it incorporated here, with the, what would you call that? Like a poncho-esque fabric, the hat, the hair. I see how they're doing it, but I don't know how to translate that. But good note, silhouette is important. Again, really interesting color palette, or very analogous color palette with like that pop of color. So I think that's a really great point to make, and it's something that I try to do, but like I said, I struggle. And what's also really great about this color palette, okay, is like all the clothes are of the time, right? So they're blending with the color palette, but then he and his gun have a color palette, like his tattoos have a color palette that don't make sense, showing the out of placeness, showing who he is. And so like having that little bit of like splash here and there it seems like very good for the storytelling, like drawing your eye to the things that need their eye drawn to. I also see like the utilitarian element that I think about. He's got the belt, the holster, the pockets. I think it's so fun looking at all of these designs and just seeing how all of us differed so much from each other. And I also have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. As impressed as I am with all of these artists, I think they all did an incredible, amazing job. I feel like mine holds up, which I wasn't sure that it would. I think that I did a decent job. I'm not mad at myself. What a fun, cool experience to have all these artists do this with me. I think this was so fun and so cool. I'm excited about the prompt that I was able to come up with. I think it's fun and interesting. I think I'm getting there with character design, but it's so cool. I'm just so pleased with everything about this. Now, if you enjoyed this, if you liked the look of Fiverr, you liked their services and what they're able to offer you, you can check out Fiverr through the links in the description, as well as the artists that I've mentioned today. And you can use code LittleStarner to get 10% off your first purchase. I'm so thankful to Fiverr for sponsoring. This was so much fun, such a cool time. This was such a fulfilling project for me. I had truly so much fun. Make sure you check out Fiverr yourself. They've got so much cool stuff going on over there. Check out the artists that I hired. Now, that's it. That's all I've got. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of all of the character designs. Let me know what you think of my design. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. I'll see you next time. Bye.